Ukrainian opera singer about whom Luciano Pavarotti wrote in his book, famous film director Franco Zeffirelli put her on par with Maria Callas and Teresa Straras and called them the three great La Traviata in the opera history. Victoria Lukyanets, next in Ukrainian stage. Every year, the world-famous opera diva Victoria Lukyanets gives solo concerts on Ukrainian stages in the National Opera or the Philharmonic Column Hall. In her anniversary year, Victoria has arranged concerts in special places. Soul music, accompanied by the Blagovist ensemble, sounded majestically in the temple of Hagia Sophia.
Ви знаєте, у мене таке враження було, що там просто всі ці стіни і ікони.
I had the impression that those walls, icons and mosaics were as if alive. It so happened that I glanced up and there was Jesus outstretching his hands like this. And I thought, what a responsibility that had been and how lucky I had been to have it. Aranta was behind me and the Son of God above me. I thought my voice had been raising in a flow of solar energy when I was singing. I do not know what to compare that with and how to call it. It was like a unification of the earth, sky and everything holy.
Енергії. Не знаю, чого це можна назвати. Що це як от зв'язок землі, неба і всього-всього святого.
It was not just a concert, but also a charity event. The money raised from the concert went to the restoration of historical icons at the St. Sophia Cathedral, which have been in need of restoration for more than a century.
Я вдячна за цей концерт. Я знаю, як вона його сама сприйняла.
I am grateful to her for that concert. I know how she perceived it. She called me a few days later and said, I am incredibly happy and still cannot get over the fact that I really performed in Hagia Sophia. I was so inspired, it gave me so much strength, and I suddenly had so many plans for the future there. So if you call me, I will cancel everything else and come sing there again. I am very grateful to her for such words.
І за ці слова я страшенно вдячна.
Victoria Lukyanets was born in Kyiv. At the age of 5, she began to sing in a large children's choir of Ukrainian radio. She graduated from the Clear Kyiv School of Music and State Tchaikovsky Conservatory. In 1989, she made her debut at the National Opera of Ukraine. She is a laureate of international competitions in Tokyo, Mozart contests in Vienna, and Maria Callas contests in Athens. She participated in many prestigious festivals, among which is the famous Salzburg Music Festival. In 1993, she became the soloist of the Vienna Opera in Austria. Victoria Lukyanets has conquered the best opera stages of the world: the Metropolitan Opera in New York, La Scala in Milan, Opera Bastille in Paris, Grand Opera House in Geneva, the State Opera in Berlin, and many others. But still, the Vienna Opera, to which she has devoted half of her life, remains the main stage for her.
Мені дуже хотілося щось зробити особливе і подякувати цій країні, Австрії, яка мене прийняла.
I really wanted to do something special to thank Austria, the country that accepted me. Over the 23 years that I have lived there, I found friends, even though not many. So I would like to say thank you to this nation. It has also so happened that I live in Vienna in the Schubert district, where he lived and went to school. Schubert Kirche is there as well. It is the university district, and I feel at home there.
Уявляєте, як це університетський район, це багато там інтелігенції, але я там вдома. Так доля склалась.
The program of the so-called German concert consisted of works by prominent Austrian composer Franz Schubert, and Victoria has sung those works in the National House of Organ and Chamber Music. Lukyanets did not come to Kyiv alone. She was accompanied by another Ukrainian who, like Victoria, lives and works in Vienna, pianist Pavlo Kachnov.
Репетиции проходили очень плодотворно.
Rehearsals were held regularly and fruitfully. We tried to find time outside of our creative schedules, which were quite tight already, but we did find time to work 2-3 times a week. The program with Schubert songs turned out just wonderful. Victoria Lukyanets is first and foremost an opera singer, but chamber music is an integral part of her work. Victoria repeatedly performed chamber works by European composers and Ukrainian song programs, both at home and abroad.
Викторию знают очень многие, не только в Вене, в Австрии, по всему миру, от Украины.
Victoria is known not only in Vienna but also around the world. She toured a lot. She performed with the best orchestras in the world. When it comes to Ukrainian musicians, they are liked and respected everywhere. They are professionals, and if a person is a professional, then nationality, face, and everything else does not matter.
Национальности, веры и всего остального. Главное показывать результат на сцене.
Artists of the caliber of Victoria Lukyanets are referred to as people of the world, but for her, belonging to the Ukrainian nation are not empty words. She was very worried about Ukraine during the Revolution of Dignity. Over the whole year, she wore Ukrainian embroidery.
Я ж співала і на фестивалі Анатолія Солов'яненка в Донецьку. Я ж співала і всіх із Куртом Шмідтом.
I sang at the Anatoly Solovyanenko festival in Donetsk and gave a concert in the salt mines of Artemivsk together with Kurt Schmidt. I know those people, and all those events really hurt me. During those days, I tried to be with Ukraine as much as I could. I have a class with children of 13 nationalities. In our free time, after lessons, we stood in a chain around the presidential palace wearing Ukrainian embroidery to support Ukraine. Such was the solidarity.
У вишиванках всі, щоб підтримати, солідарність така була, підтримати Україну.
The support of Ukraine by such a famous singer as Victoria Lukyanets is worth a lot, as millions of people heed her opinions. She is in the ranks among the first musicians of the world, along with Placido Domingo, Jose Carreras, Dmitry Chorostovsky and Luciano Pavarotti.
Мені хочеться Лючано Паваротті згадати. Його. Може, тому що він ще й був на
I want to commemorate Luciano Pavarotti, perhaps because he was the first to support me at the start of my career. He told me that whatever I did was very good. I remember his words, and often, when I think about him and turn on the radio, I hear his records. It's as he is coming back to protect me as an angel. He was absolutely brilliant, and nobody sang better than he did. I am thankful to God for having the chance to meet him.
Отак якось цікаво буває, таке враження, що він приходить постійно, що душі ці всі живі, вони біля нас. Але він просто був сонячною людиною, сонячним. Краще нього не співав ніхто. Дякую, доля. Дякую, Господи, що мене так звела з Лючано Паваротті.
Few artists have the privilege of having plays staged specifically for them in the best theaters in the world. They were staged for Victoria Lukyanets on several occasions.
Особливо Травіату ставили. Ставили на мене у Відні, ставили в Кьольні, ставили Травіату на мене в Японії, ставили...
La Traviata in Vienna and Cologne and La Traviata and Lucia in Japan were staged for me. Also, The Prophet by Marabeer. There were many performances, and it was a great joy because I was constantly working. When the director says, I only want to see your hair and eyes and hear your voice and nothing else, everybody off the stage and behind the curtains. Then he leaves you alone in the foreground. It is great feeling when the director feels your type, your temperament, and your energy.
Твою зовнішність, твій темперамент, твою енергетику. Це прекрасно.
Having some experience in their work, every specialist wants to pass on their knowledge to the younger generation. So after learning about everything there was to learn about her profession, Victoria committed herself to helping young singers. Teaching at the Vienna Conservatory, she gives a lot of places in her class to students from Ukraine. That is truly a sign of love of her homeland.
Я викладаю з 2010 року. Я спочатку так видавалась, що у мене просто
I have been teaching since 2010. At first, I worked so hard, I started losing my voice to the point I could not even talk. Then I began to understand how much more important it is to sing than to sit around and gab with friends. The most important rule for me is to not go to the conservatory before I'm in the mood to teach. I cannot go to the children unprepared because they do not come to the conservatory, they come to me.
А вони ж приїжджають навіть не в консерваторію, вони приїжджають до мене.
Today, Victoria Lukyanets says there are two countries that are close to her heart, Ukraine and Austria, to which she gives her talent, soul, and knowledge. Living and working in Vienna, she is in Kyiv with her soul, where her mother, family, and friends are. Victoria has a rule that she never breaks: to come home once or twice a year and give concerts, especially for her fans. The Ukrainian audience is very grateful to her for her open heart and young, amazing talent.
Боже, Боже, яка ця земля свята, яка ця генетика, що вона родить і родить і родить. Таке чудо.
It seems that Ukrainians have God-given talent in their genes when it comes to music and singing. Wherever I go, I always see musicians and performers in orchestras. Now Lyudmila Monastyrska is the Aida #1 in the world. She's a student of Ivan Polivoda, just like I was. It is as if the circle has closed. I remember how Ivan told me I was his star, and then Luda became another one of his stars. It is all very interesting. Life is beautiful and full of wonders. We have to enjoy every day and every moment, but we must also dream and wait for a miracle to happen. You never know.
Кожному моменту і мріяти, і чекати чуда.